Financial Live, just coming into another great edition of Talk with Angelo. I hope everybody can see me and hear me okay. I really appreciate everyone coming on the show this evening. It's Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. Every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central, we do the Talk with Angelo Live. I'm just kind of getting centered in with the camera here, so I really appreciate it. I hope everyone can hear me okay. Last session, I think the audio was fine, and hopefully tonight the audio will be good too. So really appreciate everyone coming on the show this evening and talk with me. You know, we do this session every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, and we always talk about, you know, the latest things going on in finance, the market, economics. Got a lot of interesting things to talk about tonight. Some things with credit, more political things going on with that are affecting the housing market. Hey Kevin, good evening. Thank you so much for coming on the channel tonight on the show. Really appreciate everybody joining in. I hope that the sound is okay. We always want to make sure that the audio is all right. And remember, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, we also do the free Amazon giveaway. Hey Cherries, good evening, honey. Hope you're doing well. So appreciate everyone coming on tonight. Remember, we are a nationwide. Hey Valerie, good evening. A nationwide lender. We specialize in residential loans, commercial loans. We have, hey Jody, oh, sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. So we have all different types of funding programs that we offer solutions to help people out. That's what we do. We try to figure out all different types of loan programs. So, you know, and we do this Talk with Angelo session. It has had really good success. People get to ask me questions on the chat. You know, they're facing all different types of things. You know, could be, issues with their credit, issues with getting their loan approved, how to be successful when getting funding, and things to look out for, and I've been doing this for 20 years and, helped, hundreds of thousands of people to get a loan, and, kind of your go-to for funding to help you to navigate you through the waters to get funding. There's all different types of things that come up when you get a loan, and lenders, they check, all different types of things. Different lenders check different types of stuff, like your background check, your credit check, your financials, your bank records. And some lenders are very, very strict. Some lenders are more, forgiving. And so you just have to know how to get through that to have the best structure. The thing is that obviously everybody's situation is different. Some loans are more complicated, some loans are easier. So it just depends on the person's situation, and you try to work the best that you can to help that person. So and that's really all that you can do in the end. And so because people, until you go through a loan process with somebody, you don't know exactly, what they're going to do, and exactly what the outcome is going to be. So basically, there's a lot of things that I want to hit on tonight. And obviously, if you guys have any questions, you can always ask me questions on the channel. That's why we're here, to educate you and empower you. We do a lot of YouTube sessions, a lot of videos, a lot of stuff on our Instagram, a lot of stuff on our Facebook. But, and you can watch all those videos. We have over 750 videos that we've published on our YouTube channel, and those are all free. We don't charge on our channel. All that content is free. So, and what we do, we're here to educate you, teach you about some of the latest things that are going on with different loan products, credit hacks, things how you can improve your credit, different loan programs that are out there. We offer a lot of loan products that a lot of lenders don't touch or don't know about, or they don't do. The other thing is we lend nationwide, so you can call or text us for funding. We're open 7 days a week for you, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 832-431-6331. You can call or text our office. Some of the things I want to talk about tonight that I think that are interesting. I have a few different things I want to go over, and the first thing that I want to talk about. Hey, Florida. Hey, what's going on? Good evening. How are you? Marlene. I think you said your name is Marlene. So the first thing I want, have you done a video on different Yes, I have done videos, and actually you can check our Valor. That's a great question. If you check our YouTube channel and you search 15-year Marie France. Hi, good evening, Marie France. So if you check our YouTube channel, you can look at the different loan products that we offer and educational videos comparing a 15-year and a 30-year loan. And I highly encourage you to watch those videos because you can do the compare and contrast. In the end, most people, they lean towards a 30-year. And that's, my go-to, my favorite loan program. Everyone has different preferences. Some people want a 15-year. I say go with a 30-year. All the research has pointed to go into a 30-year fixed. Especially right now, there's not much of a difference between a 15-year and a 30-year fixed. And I like the lower payment option just in case, something comes up in the future. So anyway, lots of stuff to talk about. The big things I want to go over, a few bullet points tonight. Wanted to talk about, I did a podcast on Biden and the new credit report coming out. And then the second thing I want to discuss was the 2022 outlook on the real estate economy and the lack of inventory. That's the second thing I want to go over. The third thing I want to talk about tonight is the government discharging student loan debt. They've discharged so far this year over $10 billion in student loan debt. You might be one of those people that got your student loans discharged or forgiven by the government. The fourth thing I want to go over is how many FHA loans can you actually have? And then the fifth thing I want to talk about is truck driver loans. So truck driver loans. If you're a truck driver, you own a truck, you drive a truck, and you're trying to get a loan, that seems to be a hot thing right now. So those are the 5 things I wanted to go over. And obviously, if you guys have anything that you want to talk about, anything interesting or think questions you have, feel free to ask us, about those questions. A lot of the inspiration that we get for videos is from the questions that you guys ask. You guys are my inspiration. I've always said that. And, so I'm here for you to be your servant to help you guys, to get you the funding that you need. And that's really the biggest thing on how we're different is we try to figure out how to get you a loan. When other lenders know I'm a fool. For Chris Duncan, hey Angelo, I did my first YouTube, Facebook Live for my channel. Oh, awesome, Chris. That's awesome. Thank you. How did it go? That's awesome, man. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you that you did that. That's really good. I think that's that's really good. That's very good that you did that. I got to commend you. A lot of people, they're scared to get on the camera, and they don't like to show themselves or get out there and talk. And I think you're your best spokesperson, your best advocate. So I'm a big proponent of that. Good. That's awesome, man. Thank you. So the first thing that, and again, you guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us questions. Oh no, that's fine. We're here to talk about different things. So you can talk about anything that you want, man. So the thing is that I'm real big about. There's a great book. It's called Where Great Ideas Come From, and it's when you put a lot of great people together, and there's synergy and talking and networking. And so you get ideas from me, I get ideas from you, and it just creates this great synergy. And I'm really big about that. So it's all good, man. So anyway, the first thing I want to talk about, and again, if you guys have any questions, like I said, feel free to chime in. I'm always open to hear what you all have to say. The biggest thing, I did a podcast on this last week, and President Biden and the new credit report system, the public CRA that's supposed to be managed by the CFPB, is supposed to be coming out, and kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit more because I've got some more information on it, and I'm not really sure how they anticipate to manage this and incorporate this into the lending industry, because the lending industry is extremely complicated. You have many different types of lenders, and they all use different types of credit scoring systems, and supposedly this public CRA is supposed to replace Fico, And I'm really kind of nervous about it because I don't see it being adopted too well based on some of the information that I've seen. Even if people are late on their payments, it doesn't affect their score, and a lender is still supposed to, somehow not price that into the risk of their loan and the interest rate that the customer is getting and the terms. So, I'm not really sure. Again, I'm all about change and optimizing and making things better. I hope that, whatever, and I'm not saying that the FICO scoring system is right either. There's a lot of flaws with it. I just don't know if we're ready to take on, that big of a bite, because changing the credit scoring system, and maybe we have the resources or the intelligence. I'm sure that we do, and maybe we don't have all the details of it, and that's probably what more of the situation is. So, and hopefully, as we go into 2022, 2023, more details emerge, and we get more of the data of this public CRA. Maybe it is going to be, the saving grace for all of us and be a better credit scoring system. I just don't know how, from the lending side, how lenders are going to respond to it, and how it's going to properly incorporate into the different industries within lending, right? Because you have auto industry, you have mortgage industry, you have student loans, you have all these different payday loans. I mean, there's so many different types of finance companies and laws and regulations, and I don't know how the public CRA is going to properly account for all that. And so it'll be interesting to see how, and if you guys have any details or thoughts about it, I'm curious to see, what everyone else is thinking. For some of the literature that I saw, let's say someone is 30 days late on their car payment, with a FICO score, that can drop your credit score 40 points. But on this public CRA model, there is no impact to your credit score if you're late on your car payment. So the thing is that what's concerning about that is, how do you look between, high risk or low risk? Oh, that's a great question, Marie. If a person has a 700 credit score and they have a small judgment, does your bank offer a one-time close? Great question, Larry. So the first question is that from Marie France. If you have a small judgment on your credit, no, that is not going to disqualify you for getting a home loan. The judgment is okay. Now, the thing is that the judgment, depending on the type of judgment that it is, generally just has to be in a repayment plan. Okay, so you have to have entered into a payment plan and usually be in that payment plan for at least 3 months before you can close on your loan. But it's not grounds for a denial with us. Now, there are lenders out there that they would deny you if you had the judgment. They shouldn't, but there are lenders out there that are very strict on judgments or collections. And if you have that, it'll have to be paid or you could get denied. We're okay with it just as long as you're in a payment plan and you're in the payment plan for at least 3 months, okay? So yeah, I hope that helped answer your question. So just enter into a payment plan or you could settle and pay it off, okay? So Larry, your question on the FHA one-time close. So here's the thing on the one-time close. We will be offering that next year as in 2022, and we will be doing the conventional FHA, VA, USDA one-time close construction. It's an awesome program. I'm a big advocate of the one-time close. It's one of my whole thing, my mantra on people trying to build their own house because of how, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about tonight, is the lack of inventory. Why not build your own home? And there's a lack of inventory out there. You can't find a house, and there's a big gap. And actually, there was a report that I read earlier today that we're short. The U.S. America is short. Do you do new build on? That's what Patrick. That's what he's actually just asking. Larry's just asking that. We're short. America is short by 1.5 million homes in inventory for people to live in. So, so the thing is, well, why not build your own house? Why wait on the builder? Because, I mean, who knows when they're going to build the home. So I'm a big proponent of it. I love it. I think it's great. Hey, good evening, Wickham. Hope you're doing good. So glad to see you back. So, so the thing is that the one-time close will be offering that. Our plan is to offer that again next year. And no, you cannot use any down payment or assistance or any grants for the one-time close. The down payment, like for FHA, the 3.5%, you have to put that down. For VA, it's 0 down, 100% financing. Conventional is 5% down. They don't allow any down payment assistance. Patrick, that's what we're just talking about. Right now, we don't do any construction loans. Next year, our plan is to offer construction loans to you guys out there because we know that's such a hot product, and land loans and everything. Just right now, they're not doing them, but we expect by next year that we'll be able to offer those to you again. They got suspended from COVID, and then we haven't offered them since. We plan to be offering those again by next year, in the beginning of the year. And so, because I'm a big advocate of it too. I think they're great loan programs, you know. So I just, you know, they're tricky because there's a construction component to it, and there's also a land purchase process that makes it a little bit more tricky as far as the management on the back end. It's not as easy as you know, doing a regular closing. So you have to have, there's more resources that are involved, and with more resources, it takes more work. So, but we expect to offer it next year. So great question though. So we'll be offering all those programs by next year, and then you can take the construction loan to buy the land and then build your home on it. And it's awesome. It's an awesome program. You lock in a low interest rate, very little money out of pocket. Phenomenal product. Big advocate of it. So, so anyway, huge thing. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is, I don't know if you guys have seen the news in America that the government is actually discharging federal student loan debt. So it's crazy. They've discharged already this year over $10 billion of student loan debt. So you know, it's, you know, this, you could be one of the people that actually gets your student loan debt discharged. I'm going to put a link in the video. You can go and apply, and you may be one of the people that they approve to discharge your student loan debt. They'll discharge up to $50,000 of student loan debt per person, per household. So it's a huge thing because a lot of people, their student loans have been forgiven. So a very interesting topic. There's some certain qualifications that you have to meet. Your income has to be below $70,000 a year. You have to have a cumulative of at least $50,000 of student loans or more. They have to be federal student loans. And you've had to have the student loans open for at least 12 months. So if that's somebody that you meet those criteria, you might be eligible to get your student loans discharged. And it could be, it's very interesting, it's very compelling. I don't know how it all works or how they're picking people, if it's all randomized or how they're doing it. But it seems very interesting. Over 10 billion, they anticipate that they're going to be discharging over another $20 billion in student loan debt by June 2022. So massive amount of stimulus going out as well for that. Very interesting. I don't know if you guys, if anyone on here has had any student loan debt discharged recently by the federal government, but it seems very interesting that someone's student loan debt could actually get discharged. So I found that very, you know, enlightening. In fact, with everything else going on in America right now. So I don't know. Now, here's what I can tell you: if you're trying to get a home loan and you got your student loan front the money during the phase, or does the bank pay each phase? Yeah. So the way that works, Larry, on the construction loan is, if you already own the land, the builder will request a draw, and then the bank will advance the money to the builder to kind of get started. So let's just say that the house costs $300,000, and you had let's just say you had, you know, let's just say 5 draws, and each draw was, you know, $60,000. So in the beginning, the bank's going to wire the builder $60,000 to get started, and then he'll use the $60,000, do all the work. Then an inspector will come and check the work to make sure everything's copacetic, and then the bank will release the next draw to him, the $60,000. So first draw $60,000, get started, do the work, get the inspection done. Next $60,000 comes out. And then they do the work, get the inspection done, keep doing that until the house is complete. And then once the house is complete, do a final inspection, final wire to the builder, and then you get the certificate of occupancy if you need that where you live, and then you can move in and own the home and live in the house. So that's how it works on a construction loan. And construction loans are great. I'm a big advocate of construction loans. I think they're awesome. I think it's a direction that's definitely necessary and needed in America for you guys out there to be able to buy and build your own home. I think it's awesome. So, and that's a big thing I want to talk about tonight, because they're projecting next year that, you know, America is going to be short by over almost 2 million, 1.5 million homes. A lack of inventory in the United States. That's a really, really big number. That means that in every city, every major city in America, there's going to be a shortage of over 1,000 homes. Where do you go to expand your knowledge in mortgage? Well, that's a great question, Leroy. So I'll answer that here in a second. But, you know, so this is a big thing. The lack of inventory is a concern, because I mean, you guys are out there right now trying to buy a home, and you run into all these issues because there's not enough inventory on the market. So you're seeing people 20 or 30 offers on one home. It's insane. And people aren't able to buy a house. You're seeing a house for sale on the market for $200,000, and the final offer is $230,000. They've offered $30,000 over the price of the home because there's no homes for sale, right? So that's why the construction loan is a really, really cool program, because you're like, man, I don't want to overbid on a house. I'm just going to go buy me a piece of land and build my own house on it, you know? And that's what people are doing, because it doesn't make sense, you know, to have people scrambling to be able to buy a house with a shortage of over 1.5 million homes in the market. That means that there's not enough homes to go around. My area more are up for sale. That's good. That's good. That's a good sign, Wanda, hopefully. I hope that you're seeing more on the market and more inventory, because usually that's not the case. Usually, and I don't know what price range you're in, but usually right now there's an extreme lack of inventory. And the numbers I'm using are on a nationwide basis. They're on a nationwide basis. Every city's different, every area is different. To incentivize building and help them with their high cost. And that's true too. I agree with that, Ricardo. Anything that they can do, and a lot of government areas like cities, they have bonds and tax credits for builders. I know in my area, one of the areas that we have an office in Houston, and they had a whole, for 3 years, it was a gentrified area where builders could buy lots for $1 and they could build houses. They wanted to redo a certain part of Houston, and they were selling lots to builders for $1 just to go over there to buy the houses. Now, there were strings attached and requirements that had to be met, but builders were buying lots at one time for $1. And you'll see certain parts of the country, if it's a gentrified area or like, for example, USDA rural areas, like if you look at like Orlando, on the outskirts of Orlando, like you had, Haines City. 20 years ago, Haines City outside of Orlando, you couldn't even find it. And now that whole Davenport, Haines City, like when you drive down in Orlando now, in Kissimmee, you can't even tell the difference between Davenport and Kissimmee anymore, because it's grown so much. And it's because of USDA. USDA played a big role in growing that part of Florida out. And that's what the purpose of those products, what they do. And I think that's a really important thing that you're going to see in the future, is that more people will buy their land, build their house, and they're not going to wait on a builder You know, because builders, I mean, and it's okay that they make money, but if there's a lack of inventory, it puts a lot of pressure on people, because people, you know, their lease might be up. They may not want to be happy renting an apartment. They want their own house. Most people want to have their own space. They want to live in their home. And that's why I'm such a big advocate of, you know, home ownership, because I don't believe in wasting money on rent. I believe in home ownership. I think it's an important thing and something that everybody needs to experience in some part of their life. Not everybody's ready at the same time to be able to buy a house, but I think it's a very, very important thing that everybody needs to experience, and everyone works really hard for their money. They deserve to own a home. Obviously, you got to be in the right position with your credit and your finances, but that's the idea behind it, is to be able to own your own home. So hopefully, my thinking is that, you know, when you have more foreclosures hitting the market, construction loans, more construction loans coming online, a lot of lenders are going to be offering construction loans next year. They want to get through 2021, get some of this COVID past us, and then being able to offer construction loans to people. Hey, I want to build a house. I want to buy that lot. I want to build a house on it. You know, what can we do? You know, and then that I can build my own home. I don't have to wait for a builder to build this house for me. So great thing, and we want to be your lender to offer those construction products for you guys, because we think they're the future. We think that and self-employed loans and non-QM private loans are the future of America. So and that leaves me to, I want to, and again, if you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to chime in or ask any questions on anything that you guys want to discuss. I mean, that's why we're here, to talk to you about different things. I want to talk about truck driver loans. I don't know if anyone watching the show or the channel is a truck driver. We do a lot of loans for truck drivers, and they seem to get stuck when they try to get a home loan through their lender, and want to talk about that because we see so many of them. And you might know someone that's a truck driver, and you know, there's a lot of truck drivers that work very hard, but sometimes they have a very hard time getting a loan. So I want to talk about the different ways on how, if you are a truck driver, how you can get approved for a home loan. So basically, if you're a truck driver, and if you know anyone that is, you get paid usually by the load, you get paid by the mile, and you get paid per diem. I'm stuck renting. I just started a new career. Yes, Leroy, there is ways around that. So you're stuck renting, Leroy. You just started a new career, and I've done a ton of videos, and you can look at our channel, Leroy, on work history, you know, 2-year work history, and getting how to buy a house if you're changing jobs. That's a big thing. You're a truck driver, Jody? You're trying to get a loan? Yeah, a lot of people are we see them all the time. We see, I don't know, probably 20 a day that are truck drivers, and they're trying to get a loan. And there's something happened where they got denied. It's an issue. We got to figure it out. So I'm going to talk about that. But Leroy, on your question, no, you're not disqualified if you just got a new career. The question is, how do you get paid? Do you get paid by salary? Do you get paid by hourly? If you're paid by salary or hourly, you don't have to wait 2 years to be on that job. And now, if you became self-employed or commission only, and that's a recent thing for you, then you have to have 2 years on that. Okay? But if you, let's say you worked as a manager at, you know, Best Buy, and then you went to go work, you know, as a manager at Walmart, that's okay. You could start that new job and you're fine. So you don't have to have 2 years. Do lenders like it? I heard lenders don't like it because it inflates the score. I want people to take it off. No, that's a good question, Cherries. So actually, it's funny you brought that up. I was talking about that with another lender today. So we do credit boosts for our clients to help them to get approved for their loan if they need it. Not everyone needs a credit boost. We do them. But I was talking to another lender today, and he was telling me that their company, they're not allowed to do credit boost. And they have to just take whatever the customer's credit score is. And I was like, man, that's kind of messed up, because some people, their credit's not ready, but everything else is ready. And if we just boost them up a little bit more, they can get a better loan. So we like it. We have no problem with that. We do it. You know, but there are a lot of companies, believe it or not, that they don't believe in honor credit boost. Now we're not an advocate of that, and we don't subscribe to that, but there are a lot of companies that do. And so my thinking is that the credit boost is a good thing, and you know, channels like ours are a good thing because they teach you and educate you. You might not be aware. Did you know if you pay your revolving credit down below 20%, your score will go up 50 points? Should you pay a 1% higher rate for that? You know, I don't think so. So we do FHA in Arizona, absolutely, Jay. Jay, if I'm pronouncing that right, I'm sorry if I'm not. So we do FHA nationwide except for Maryland. We absolutely do. So call or text us at 832-431-633. We'd love to help you with an FHA loan in Arizona. We love that. We specialize in FHA loans. We do all different types of FHA loans. And anyway, I hope that answers your question on getting a new career. We have a lot of videos on our YouTube channel talking about that. Now going back to the truck driver loans, what I was saying earlier is that, you know, truck drivers, they get paid on per diem, they get paid by the load, they get paid by the mile, all different types of pay. And, you know, and they work for, sometimes they have their own rig, and sometimes they're W-2'd, and they just started working for a company, but they're an employee. Now, I'm going to tell you that if you're an employee or you started your own rig and you're getting paid variable pay meaning by the mile, by the load, by the freight, per diem, okay, you have to have a two-year history if you just started in that industry, if you get paid like that. You cannot get a home loan if you just started getting paid by the mile a month ago, and before that you're a manager at Pizza Hut. Okay? The lender is not going to approve that. I don't care what you tell me. They will not approve your loan, unfortunately. It doesn't matter if you're self-employed, you bought your own truck, or you're W-2'd. Okay? So let me say that again. If you just started working for a trucking company, whether you're W-2 or 1099, it doesn't matter. Do you think waiting might change the market? That's a great question, Laura. You know, the thing is that what I think right now is a great time, because usually right now we've gotten hit with more inventory in the market. People are back to school now. You're getting ready to come into the holidays. Now is a really good time to be thinking about buying a house, because you kind of want to be there when nobody else is to get the opportunities. If you wait until March when the market starts heating up again, you know, you have to think about from a competition standpoint if you're competing with other people. It's not just you that's going to look at that house. And that's the thing that you don't want to forget about. A lot of people are not conscious of, is that when you're looking at that house, there's, you know, hundreds of other people looking at that house too. And the seller is going to take the best offer. So you kind of, my thinking and strategy is, you know, try to, hey, Stefan, thank you for watching the show. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. So, my thinking is, you know, and you might not find the house that you want right now. You know, it may not be on the market because the seller hasn't put the house on the market, but it may. I think from August now, when people are going back to school, that's what their mind is on, to December, you might find a home for sale. Just look. It doesn't hurt to look. If you don't find the house, that's fine. But you have more inventory coming online, and you might be able to find your house. If you don't, that's cool. Just keep looking until, you know, until spring, you know. So I think it's better now than it was spring 2021 or the summer. So 878, 656, 68 with my FICO. What happened? That's a good question. You have stuff reporting differently on each bureau. If you have that wide of a variance on your credit score, you have stuff reporting radically different on each credit bureau. Okay? If you have an 800 something and a 650 something, You have to look at your credit bureaus and see what's going on there, because there's something that's not making sense with that. And you're gonna have to figure that out, because remember, lenders, they use the middle credit score. So a lender will use the middle credit score. So they don't care about that 800 score. They're going to use your middle one. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, we lend in New York and New Jersey. I appreciate you. Yeah, please reach out to us. Hey, Angela, good evening. I hope you're doing good. Good to see you. Thank you for watching the show. Appreciate you for chiming in. And I'm glad that I appreciate you telling me that, my content is somewhat comprehensible, because sometimes I'm worried that, at least sometimes in my head, it happened when it became an authorized user. Oh, you added an authorized user. Well, you're going to have to check to see if that authorized user went on to all 3 bureaus. So check your credit report, do a tri-merge credit poll, and see if it went to all 3 bureaus. Sometimes it doesn't report to all the bureaus. Sometimes it just reports to 1 or 2. Okay? You're going to have to, and that may not be the only reason. You're going to have to scrub your credit report and see what else is on there. Do a full credit review and see what else is on there. So, anyway, so back to the truck drivers. The thing is that now, if you are a truck driver, it's okay. We have a lot of options for you. We can do a self-employed loan and use your bank statements. You're close to a 700. It depends, Larry, the type of loan that you're getting. If you're close to a 700, you might be good now. It depends. It depends on what your debt ratio is, your liquid reserves. What's the purchase price of the home that you want? Obviously, if you have time, get the credit score higher. I would say get it to 800. But if you don't have time, then 700 or close to 700 may be okay. But it just depends. There's other variables that go into it. Like I said, credit score, debt ratio, your assets, your income, purchase price, loan amount, how much you're putting down. All these type of things go into it. It's not just one thing. And so, by itself, that credit score is okay. But you probably want a little bit higher. Okay. So, but anyway, so on the truck driver loans, the bottom line, the takeaway is that you can use your 1099 with us that you get to buy a home. Sure, give us a call. Call us, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Call us 832-431-6331. So, yeah, 1099 solutions. If you just have 2 scores, Angela, they're going to take the lower of the 2. So if you have a 645 and a 651, they're just going to use the 645 score. If you only have 2 and you don't have 3 scores, they're going to take the lower of the 2 scores. So in this example, they're going to take the bottom one, which is 645 for you. Okay? So, but anyway, 1099 loan programs for truck drivers, we can use your 1099. Don't need tax returns, don't need W-2s, don't need pay stubs. Or we can use your bank statements. Now remember that you're going to have to be a truck driver or self-employed for at least 2 years before you can get a home loan. If you just started becoming a truck driver and you're not paid hourly or salary, you need to be 2 years on that job. So think about that if you're going to be buying a home in the next year or 2 and you're a truck driver. Your solutions are to wait 2 years until you have 2-year history if you're paid variable pay, and you can use your 1099, you can use your W-2, you can use any of those that you want. So that's up to you. So do they use Fico or Vantage score? Chuck, they use Fico score. So they use Fico. So yeah, they don't use, Vantage is not used. Credit Karma uses Vantage. So yeah, right now, the lenders in America mainly use Fico score 2, 4, and 5. Some lenders are using 8. FICO 10 has not come out yet or been adopted. But yeah, don't look at Vantage because nobody really uses that. It's not, I don't even know why it's here. So, but so yeah, truck drivers, I talked about that. The other thing I want to talk about, and again, if you guys have any questions, please let me know, is somebody asked me a question earlier before we came on the show. How many FHA loans can you have? Do you guys do build for rent? Yes. So that's a great question. We deal with builders all the time or investors. If you're a builder and you're an investor, we have build to rent. That's a great question, and that's an awesome program. A lot of builders right now or investors, they can't find homes, so they're building, and instead of flipping or selling, they're just turning into a rental property. Okay, so a really, really good idea, because no, don't use Credit Karma, Stefan. Credit Karma is not, and I'm not knocking them. Hey, and it's my opinion. In my opinion, so I would use annual credit report or my Fico to check your credit. Okay, myfico.com or annual credit report. Credit Karma, from what I've seen from everyone I've talked to, is not accurate to the lender's credit report. And if you go to their website, they say that they use Vantage. Okay, so anyway, and I'm, that's just my opinion. Everyone has a different opinion on that. If you want to use them, you can. But I promise you, if you're surprised why your credit score is different on Credit Karma versus the lender, don't be disappointed, because that could happen. Experience good too. Experience is a good site. I think Experience is a good site too. You're right, Andrew. That's a good one. So, but yeah, going back to getting how many FHA loans can you get? Somebody asked me that today before I came on the show. They said, "Hey, Angelo, how many FHA loans can you have?" I thought it was a good question, and most people don't ask me that. Hey, how many FHA loans can you get? So I wanted to bring it up, because did you know that you can actually have more than one FHA loan? You can actually have 2 FHA loans. A lot of people aren't aware of that. Now, I'm going to tell you there's going to be rules and requirements for it, but it can happen. So usually FHA is a Federal Housing Administration loan designed for your primary residence only. It's not to cater to investors, okay? So FHA is for your primary residence only. But there are certain circumstances where you can get a second FHA loan. And I'm going to talk about that because it's actually very interesting if you're able to get a second FHA loan. An FHA can be used for 1 unit, it can be used for duplexes, it can be used for triplexes, it can be used for fourplexes. And you can buy these and you only have to put 3.5% down. You could buy a fourplex. I approved. Hey Shane, I have. You could, yes, Stan, we have a first-time buyer investor line of credit, but the maximum that you can get as a first-time investor is $500,000. We'll start you at $500,000. So the line goes up to $10 million, but because you're a first-time investor, the maximum that you'll be able to get is $500,000 at this time. So, I mean, we can definitely work with you. Now, I will tell you, as a first-time investor, you may have to put a little bit more money down in the first deal, like 20% down. But then once you kind of get your feet wet, you get acclimated, you prove yourself, then they can do like 10% down or 0 down. It's all about building trust with your lender, okay? But we can definitely help you with an investor line of credit. We have those. You can do fix and flip, ground up construction. You can do multifamily, mixed use, up to $10 million. And nationwide too. Nationwide program. Really awesome. Big advocate of that. I think it's an awesome program. You got to get into that if you're an investor. Just starting out, I'm helping investors all the time to get lines of credit so they can build their business, build mailbox money, a secondary source, alternate income with real estate investments. Great idea. Big advocate of that. Really think you should look into. We have a lot of videos on our YouTube channel on our investor line of credit, how to use it if you're an investor. So check that out. I think it's awesome. So yeah, going back to the FHA, if you're out there and you have an FHA loan now, you can actually get a second FHA loan. There are ways around there. So there's totally legal, ethical ways on how to get a secondary FHA loan. And the main requirement is that, yes, multifamily, very good, Stan. And we can help you with that. We can help you with investor lines of credit to help you to build your portfolio, to build your business. So but going back to the FHA, I want to answer that because I know people have been asking me about this question, is you can get a second FHA loan. The biggest thing is that it has to be at least more than 100 miles away from your current FHA loan. So let me repeat that. If you want to get a second FHA loan, you can. Okay, totally doable. You can get a second FHA loan. Now let's say that your FHA loan that you have is in Dallas. Okay, you cannot get a second FHA loan in Dallas. You can get a second FHA loan in Houston. And let's say that your FHA loan is in Orlando, and now you want to get another FHA loan in Miami. You can do that because it's over 100 miles away. So the requirement to have a second FHA loan is it has to be over 100 miles away, and then it has to make sense with your job. Did you get transferred to a new city? If you got transferred to another city, then you're able to use that transfer letter, and then you can purchase another home with the FHA. Okay? The other thing that can happen is if you're departing from your property. Thank you. Appreciate you, Angela. That's very nice. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. The other thing is that if you're departing from your property, let's say you got divorced. We do build to rent. Yes, for developing and building. Absolutely. That's what we do. Yeah, it's called build to rent. It's actually on our YouTube channel. If you look on our YouTube channel, we have a program called Build to Rent. And you can check that out. We actually offer that program for you guys out there. So please check that out. It's a great program. It's called Build to Rent. And I think that you should definitely check that out if you're an investor looking to build single family homes or multifamily homes. Build to Rent, really cool product. So yeah, the other thing is with FHA, you could have a secondary FHA unit home. But the other option is if you got divorced and let's say your ex-husband or ex-wife is keeping that other home, and you're not going to be living in there anymore, and you can show proof of the divorce that your ex got the house, and you need to get another house. Then you could potentially get another FHA home, and it doesn't have to be within 100 miles. So there are some workarounds, there are some solutions on how to get a second FHA loan. So I want to present these to you to make sure that you guys are aware of other ideas, other solutions on how to get a second FHA loan. Okay? Because you might be in a situation where you need to get another FHA loan and your lender tells you, oh, you can't do that. You can only have, most lenders tell you can only have one FHA loan. It's not true. You can have a secondary one. Here's how you do it. Okay? So I hope that helps, clear up some of the questions because people always ask me these questions all the time, and I want to be able to, answer them for you to give you guys the information so that way you're aware of what's the best loan programs out there so you can get the best funding. Now, because when you go out into the marketplace and you're trying to get a loan, and if you don't have the knowledge, you might get taken advantage of, right? So you need to have the knowledge, you need to be able to be aware of what's going on, what's out there, so you can make the best decision so you can get the best deal. It's very, very important that you guys have all the information so you can get the lowest interest rate, get the best loan, get the best deal. If you're not aware of that, you may not get a good loan, or you might not even get service. You might not even get approved. So just always remember that, because I think it's really important. So anyway, does anyone else? Let me see. I know you see hundreds of loans or more. Larry, yes, we have a whole team here. So the thing is that we have just like I think any business, we have a team here of loan processors, loan officers, underwriters, managers, and I try to do my best to train them with the spirit that I take on working with helping people. Obviously, and I was talking with somebody about this. A guy, he came to pressure wash my house, and he was the owner of the company. He gave me a great sales pitch, and then his workers came out here, and when his workers were backing his truck up into my driveway, they scratched the driveway because the machine was too heavy and it couldn't get over the ramp on the driveway to my house. And they made a few. They were power washing the windows, and one of the lamps, they broke the lamp on the glass. And he called me the next day. He said, "Hey, how do we do it?" He said, he called me the next day, and he said, "Hey, how do we do?" And and I said, "Look, man, I really liked you, and I really am impressed with, the job that you did, but your workers weren't all that. They didn't do a 100% job. They didn't do 100% well." And I said, from one owner to another, I can relate. I know how that works. I feel that too. So the bottom line is that, I think in any industry, in any company, whether you're Jeff Bezos and you own Amazon, or my small little company, that, there's going to be people that are on the team that aren't 100%. But I try my best that I can to manage them and help them. Thank you, Elaine. I appreciate you watching the show and the channel. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. So you try to work with them in the best way that you can. And I try to touch every loaner being involved and oversee them and monitor the pipeline, monitor the progress, and make sure things are going well. But ultimately, we have a whole team that's here that's catered and involved to help. So, and we try our best to push and get things done. And despite all the regulatory compliance, all the laws, all the requirements. So I hope that it helps answer your question. It's a great question. And I want to get better. We're not perfect. We are open to corrective action and getting better, and open to criticism. We try to get better. We're not innocent. We're not innocent in any way. We always try to get better and take the feedback. So I appreciate that. It's a great question. So I'm going to wrap this up because I know everyone wants to get home. So for the $100 Amazon gift card, remember we give away a free $100 Amazon gift card every week on our show. Probably the only lender I know that does this, that gives away a free $100 Amazon gift card. So whoever answers the question correctly first and correctly, thank you, Wickham. Oh, I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that, Wickham. Thank you very much for answering that. So thank you. That means a lot to me for you standing up for us. That really does, because we really do try. So whoever answers the question right and whoever answers it first wins the $100 Amazon gift card. So the question is, for a $100 Amazon free gift card from Angelo Christian, how many FHA loans can you get? Who can answer that correctly first? How many FHA loans can you have? Go. Who's going to answer it first? So how many FHA loans? Who's got it for $100? 2. Angela got it. All right. Good job. Angela, you win the $100 Amazon gift card. I'm proud of you, man. So Larry, you're right behind him. So almost there. So Angela, man, you just got to watch my channel, and you're going to clean up a win. You can make enough money to buy yourself a nice pair of kicks, man. So you've cleaned up here pretty good. You've won a few $100 now, man. That's good. Yeah, send me your email. Angela got it first. So good job, guys. I appreciate everyone watching the show and the channel. You guys are learning more. You're getting more educated. 250, good job. All right. $250 for Angela. Good job. You're making money with just watching me. You're getting knowledge and making money by watching us. That ain't a bad deal. That's not a bad deal at all. So that's awesome. So I love it, man. Send me your email, bud. We'll get you that gift card. Thank you guys so much for watching the channel. Watch us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. YouTube videos come out. Angelo Christian Live. Check us out on Angelo Christian Mortgage on YouTube. Official Angelo Christian on Instagram. Take care, guys. Peace out. We love you. Make the most of yourself. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Thank you.